Are you like us and have dozens of tote bins to organize your garage, but every time you need something, it's always at the bottom? But wait, there's more. It's also under all the heaviest bins. Don't be like these two fools. Build your own storage rack today. Just look at the difference. We hardly had to pay these customers to look happy. You can make yours today for the low cost of material goods and a small fortune in power tools. And as our gift to you, we're offering free labor as long as you have a friend or family member you can take advantage of. So what are you waiting for? Build your own and solve all your self-esteem issues today.
I'm Hannah.
Hi, and I'm Henry.
And we're with the Serendipity Place. Today we're going to be building this 5x5 storage bin organizer.
So just like everyone else, our workshop space is a disaster. It's relatively organized. We already have everything in the bins, but getting to the bottom has been so annoying that we just decided to finally build these. We also do have a lot of crap, to be completely honest, so that's why we're building two of them. And we'll give you all the dimensions of the studs and the vertical and horizontal ones. That way it's just really easy for your build, but that's what we'll be covering today. So first with the measurements, these are going to be our base, and we'll be using those 2x4s as mentioned before as the vertical stands. We're starting our first 2x4 all the way on this end here, and then we're going to move it all the way down to here. The distance between here and here is 20 3/4. That gives just about 1/4 of an inch on each side of the tote. Right here we measured 1.5 inches. That way we know exactly where the 2x4s need to fit to continue this all the way along the 4x4 post. And again, it's just a repeating pattern. Another 20 3/4, then another 1.5 inches. 20 3/4, 1.5 inches. So we just keep repeating that 5 times. That way we can just start our build. Okay, so as you can see here, we've cut our 2 end pieces and we also cut the center here. So what our measurements from end to end ended up being 32 inches. That way we had roughly 1 3/4 inches, almost 2 full inches. So that way the totes can move in and out and have their own designated spots. All right, there's 2 more tips that I actually wanted to mention that I just remembered, is we're gonna be putting casters on the bottom of this. That way we can easily rotate these around when we need to. So as you can see, there's a couple circles that I marked. Those come from these ones. So I just lined it up here to know where I'm putting the caster, and the main reason is that way I know my bolt will fit in between where the caster screws will screw down. As long as I put it here, I won't have any issue if I just drill it straight down and it won't hit this screw. So that's what I did here. So that's the first tip, is I just put it there, marked it, and then made sure that I knew where I need to install it, which is in between those 4 holes. All 4 corners are now screwed in together, and the next part is to build the top plate. All right, so now we're just about done finishing the top part, or at least all the cuts and the measurements. I just initially had to take that measurement again, which is that 20 3/4 for the first line, and then add the 1.5 for the vertical stud there. And I just repeated that over and over again. Once the base and the top are assembled, what we'll be doing next is measuring and cutting all the vertical ones, all these ones to hold it all together, then installing it. It's pretty straightforward. All you'll do is pre-drill your holes, screw them together, and that's about it. All right, so as you can see, we got the second one all built. The base is connected to the top with all these studs in between them, or all these ones in between. So one thing I wanted to note is that these all in the middle are 81.5, while the corners are gonna be 86.5. So just keep that in mind. Or if they're a little different, I'll just write them down. That way you can see what they are. So our next thing that we're gonna do is adding all these slats in between. So these ladders, these rails, whatever, so that way all the bins and the totes can fit above them. So that's what I'll be doing next. So as you can see, we've marked these lines on all of these studs. That way we know where to install the first railing piece. So I'll just line them up there and then install them. All right, so you can see here, we got all the bottom ones done. And now I'm gonna be working on building it up higher. The easiest way to do it is, these are 12.5 inches tall, and what we'll do is, well, I guess I'll just show you. Having these 2 pieces act as a guide from the bottom to the top where we need to install the next one, and then we'll just rest it right on top. And where it sits is exactly where we're installed in. That way you can either install this yourself or just make the install quicker instead of having to measure each individual ladder or rail step afterwards. So that's what I'll just be doing next. All right, so this is what our workshop looks like after. It's a lot more organized, if you will. There's still stuff around because we still have to put them all into the bins, but we took all those bins off the ground and put them on the storage holders, and that helped us now be able to organize it, really. That's the big one, is that always having to lift from the bottom was the most annoying thing, and honestly, I was losing my marbles having to do it all the time. So now that it's up here, we just need to organize the rest of them, put them all in the appropriate bins. And as you can see, all along the top, we still have space to put more and make more organization there, or put them into different categories as well.